Hello and welcome to the tools lesson. In this lesson, we're going to talk about the tools that you're going to need in this industry, how to use these tools. So we're going to start off with tools, and then we're going to talk about how to put and surround your bar and how to put your bottles how they should be, okay? So let's go over it. Very first thing I want to mention here is if you ever see a bartender's shakers upside down at a bar or on their bar rail, which we're going to get into, that means they are clean and anyone can use them. But if you see them up, that means they're dirty or a bartender's working on a drink. It is basically me telling you, do not touch my shit. Okay? So, you should know that. Now, what are these? These are a short shaker and a tall shaker. Tall shakers are also known as the Boston shaker. Small ones, you can also call these the cheat shakers. Why? Because you can actually shake a drink with these two. Right on top, shake, 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 take it out. Okay? So tall shaker, short shaker. The next one would be your mixing glass. This is where you normally build your cocktails. If you're making a martini, which needs to be stirred or shaken, you know, you're building your drink in the mixing glass. So that's your mixing glass. The next one would be a bar spoon. Okay, now the bar spoon is used for layering a cocktail. Sometimes if the cocktails have two different colors or they want to layer them, you can use this as a float spoon to slowly glide the alcohol off it. Another cool thing about the bar spoon is when you're pouring champagne, you could pour the champagne from here and it'll actually do the same thing as floating it. We'll take it nice and slow down without losing the bubbles. So bar spoon, stirring, and there is a correct way to stir. Normally it's 2 fingers up front, 2 fingers in the back, twist, pull, push, pull, push. Listen, honestly, right now we are going to worry about the cocktails and the recipes. We'll work on the technique when you come in for your one-on-one training. But that's your bar spoon. Muddler. What is a muddler good for? Well, muddler is basically there to crush things. You can use it for mojitos. You can use it for sangrias. You can also use it to crush ice. I normally, when I'm really busy at a bar and I don't want to mess around with the blender because it's a little further away from me, and I'm making a frozen drink, you can crush ice really quick with this. So a really good tool to have. And if someone's messing around with you, it's pretty heavy. Next one would be a strainer. Now this is a spring strainer or a Hawthorne strainer. The spring actually comes out. There's 2 reasons for that. One, you should wash these. There's a lot of bartenders that don't wash them. They just rinse it on the sink and they forget that there's little gunk stuck in here and building fungus. So listen guys, once you start bartending, you take these off, you rinse them under nice warm water and you wash these. And then what else can you use this spring for? Basically, there's mixology level cocktails that may require a dry shake where you're using egg whites or stuff like that, where you would use a spring to shake, and a dry shake means no ice. You're actually getting the spring to do the work to create that froth on a drink. Okay, so spring strainer, definitely take the spring out and clean. Now the next one is a julep strainer. This is kind of like the spring strainer, but it goes in the glass, so it's a different style of pouring. Definitely a good pourer as well. Then we have our ice scoop. I know you know what an ice scoop does and what's it for. My reason is, why do we need an ice scoop? Why can't I just scoop my ice with glass? Well, there's a really big reason for that. And I have experienced it. Just to let you know, remember the story when I told you I used to work at my bar? When I was working at the bar, it was a really busy night, and I had a couple of bartenders working behind the bar, and they called me over and said, Jesse, we're really busy, come help us. You got about 100 people in the place. It's packed house in there. I get behind the bar, I start making the drink, and I'm getting the ice. As soon as I get the ice, I feel something leaking. And next thing I do is look down and I see all the ice with red in it, like there's blood in the ice. And I look at my elbow and I'm kind of leaking from my cut. I actually got a scar. It goes from here all the way to here. That's a fine line scar. If I see you in class to prove it, I will show you. But it was because there was glass that was chipped in there because a bartender scooped with ice. And because of the chip, when I went into scoop ice, it slit me and I didn't know if it was ice or glass, so I kept working. At this point, I had to shut my bar down. 100 people at the bar. It's like 1 o'clock. I'm making crazy money. I'm having a great time. But guess what? I don't have ice. So needless to say, I lost a lot of money that day because of shutting down the bar. But here's one thing for you guys. If you guys are taking your final exam, there's only one way you can fail this exam is by scooping with glass. Okay, listen, you can use a ice scooper or you can use your tall shaker, short shaker. Never glass in the ice. You can literally kill somebody if they swallow it and choke on it or whatever and cut. So you can kill somebody. For that reason, never use glass. Otherwise, on your exam, you will fail on your speed drill. Okay, so next one is a jigger. Now, what's a jigger for? Jigger is to basically measure every time you pour and pour the correct amount. Could be 1 ounce and 2 ounces. Some are 1/2 ounce and 1 ounces. It all depends on the ones you're using. But jiggers are really good for mixologists. There's two ways to look at this. There's bartenders and there's mixologists. If you're a bartender, your main job is to put the drinks out, keep the conversation flowing. Your personality needs to kind of lift everyone up. But if you're a mixologist, you're not really focusing on the crowd and the speed. You're actually focusing on that quality of that drink. So that's the difference between a bartender and mixologist. Mixologist, this is a very important tool for them. As a bartender, no, because we're going to learn how to free pour and we're going to free pour, but free pour will not be exact like these are. It's going to be a little up and down. So for that reason, jigger. Now, another tool you may see, or it's not really a tool, but a caddy, a napkin caddy. You have your coasters or your napkins, your straws right here. All right, napkin caddy. You'll also have your garnish tray. All right, this has all your garnishes. Now, all this stuff that I'm going over, the tools, the garnish tray, this can be bought if you are interested in getting a tool bag. We also provide tool bags in case you want to do private events and stuff. So if you don't have your tools, look into it. Another thing you will see at a bar is a spill mat. Okay? Now, what is a spill mat? Bartenders are required to make your drink on the spill mat because if you have a spill, it's easy to clean up, So let's say I'm making a drink and I have a spill. What you do with this is you can just basically lift your spill mat up and dump all your stuff here. And you can throw this away. If you save this and use it in a drink, it's called a New Jersey Turnpike. I would not recommend that, but this is just for you to know that this is a drink for all your great customers out there. Okay? Don't mess with a bartender. But that's definitely called a New Jersey Turnpike. The other thing you need to know here is the soda gun. Now, every soda gun will be a little different. It might be Pepsi, it might be Coca-Cola, might be different soda guns. So I'm just going to go over some buttons you should know, and maybe you want to fill them in your manual later on. C. If you see the letter C, it's Coca-Cola. Now, it could be Pepsi-Cola or Coca-Cola. Sometimes it's just going to say C, and you have to find out what the provider is. Okay? If you see a soda, a lot of bartenders get this wrong. Soda means club soda. When someone comes to your bar and says, let me get soda, they're talking about club soda. Not Coca-Cola, carbonated water. If you see the letter T, T would be tonic. A lot of bartenders do mistake tonic and club soda. Listen, both of them are carbonated waters. But tonic has a mineral in there called quinine. Quinine is a mineral that's a little bittersweet. And it tastes, definitely there's a flavor taste difference. So I don't know how bartenders get that wrong, but there's definitely a taste difference. If you take both of these and you put it under a black light, the tonic will actually glow. It's a mineral, it will glow. Okay, so that's how you can tell. If you see the letter G, that is your ginger ale. Quick note here. Do you know how to make a ginger ale without having ginger ale on the gun and combining your sodas to make ginger ale? It's 90% Sprite and 10% Diet Coke or Coke, whichever you got. Will look and taste like ginger ale. It's a good little trick to know when you're really busy at the bar and don't want to run to go change it or tell somebody. All right. So yes, that would be G for ginger ale. D would be Diet Coke. All right. It's really important to give somebody diet when they're asking for diet because they might have a insulin issue or they're diabetic. They shouldn't be drinking anyways, but you don't want to be the one pushing that over the edge. Then you'll see another button with water, H2O, your nice and glass of water. By the way, here's another note on the side. You always want to give your guest a glass of water when you serve them a drink, even if they ask for it or not. You know why? Because our job is to keep them hydrated and make sure they don't get too messed up. Because if they get too messed up, they're your responsibility. But if they're hydrated and they're drinking, they're going to feel good that day and they're going to feel good the next day. So they may still feel good to come to your bar the next day. So do not mess your customers up. Take care of them. Give them a glass of water. A lot of customers are, I'm too manly to have a glass of water. So they won't order it. So just give it to them. Leave it up to them. If they don't drink it, they don't drink it. But hydrate them. Okay? Now, you might have some other buttons on the gun that are not being used as well. Sometimes clubs like to put all their juices in the gun. Most restaurant bars, they don't. They keep them separate, and this is how they keep them separate. In this caddy, we get all of our juices here, and they're placed a certain way, and then we take this caddy and we put it in our ice bin so it stays nice and cold and organized. So there is a method here to the madness. So your first two juices, when they're facing in the caddy, so they're facing me right now and they're going to be going in the caddy. Just for you guys out there, I just want to show you. The first two juices should be orange juice and cranberry juice. Okay? Those are your most important juices. It doesn't matter if they're on this side or this side. They all should be up front because this is what your most common juices are going to be. The next two juices should be pineapple juice and sour mix. Okay? Now, what is sour mix? Just so you know. Sour mix is sugar, water, lemon juice, lime juice, and sometimes even orange juice. If you put orange juice, it's kind of like a margarita mix, but they're pretty much similar. Okay? If you want to make good quality drinks, make your own sour mix. A lot of people don't have the time, or if they're using sour mix so much, it's not cost effective to use fresh sour mix. I would if I'm doing a mixology class, but if I'm serving 100 people and these are college kids that don't even care about the quality, they're just going to get messed up, there's no need for fresh homemade sour mix. So pineapple and sour mix. And the last two juices, which are rarely used in our industry, should be grapefruit and milk. I don't even set up the milk. Why? Yes, milk. Why milk? Yes, milk can be used for a cocktail. I'll give you a popular one. I every now and then get this one. The White Russian, which is vodka, Kahlua, and your milk. Or cream, either or. So that is your juice containers. So they will be set up. When you come to class, there will be a setup of all the food coloring that is lined up for the juices, and we will demonstrate all of that to you when you come to class. The next thing I want to talk about now is your surroundings at the bar, what you're surrounded with, and what things are called around here, and how your speed rack bottle is set up.